All right, hopefully I got time to make a live. All right. So, what we are dealing with here is a bit of a black pill battle that's happening. And yep, just messaging. So we've got a little bit of an evolution. Sorry about being distracted. There's not too many people on my channel at the moment, so if I'm a little bit slow, it's because, well, it's not much of an audience at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to look at this channel here is this is it's hidden under there. It is Rehab Room. Rehab Room is a really old black pill channel. I've seen him a million times before. I think he's been cancelled before. And this is he's reacting to a new black pillar who has decided to use black pill and integrate, kind of make a little bit of a fusion of black pill and PUA, which is what I am. And that's why I'm reacting, because I'm not the only person, but if you're going to integrate PUA and black pill, you're going to integrate them together. Then you better be old or ugly. Hello, Stefan, the best marketer in the world, Stefan. But and he's got some abs now. He's jacked. And actually, this is a good one for you, Stefan. So, you know, this new kid on the block, right? I forgot the name of his channel already. But this is him here. He's the new kid on the block. He's a black pillar. And he's also doing approaches. So what he's kind of done here is he's tried to do a bit of a fusion, and he's kind of pissed off the pickup community. He's pissed off the red pill because he's not old enough to be talking about these topics. And he's pissed off the black pill because he's betraying them. So he's the perfect guy to be reacting to. And instead of reacting to him directly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to react to Rehab Room, which I think Rehab Room is the #1 black pillar, and he's old school. The Rehab Room guy has been doing these videos since Yad. I think it was the first major black pill channel to take on Yad. And if you know who Yad is, then you're of my generation, you're old school. So, you know, this guy's been around quite a long time. Mike, you're going to find out what the black pill is. It's basically looks is everything. In simplistic terms, if you are a sub 5, you are finished, basically. So anyway, let's just get into it, or I'll just keep chatting forever.
Controllable pull towards a man, even if he's not her usual type.
Oh, you need to flip the switch in our brain. You got to flip, bro. Got rejected 100 times now.
Okay, I'm just jumping straight in here. He made a video saying it's like a marketing video, and Rehab Room, I don't know his name, Rehab Room's just saying, oh, he's got to flip a switch. He's coming after the marketing straight up.
You got to approach 200 more, 500 more. It is just a numbers game. It is about staying strong in the face of rejection. And
anyone with an IQ over 8 or 100 and a little bit of experience knows that it's not a numbers game.
Only your self-esteem is going to take a hit, but you're also going to get labeled.
Actually, I heard about this, but we don't know why this guy got arrested for approaching. He must have been a retard.
Going to start getting banned from bars and places, especially if it is a small town. You will be giving those girls free premium gas, free ego boost.
Last year, I went through a process of trying to be more social and improve my dating life without using the apps. So I got really in my head about the process.
So this is Rehab Room really kind of he's taking a leap from attacking another black pillar to attacking PUA in general because he doesn't like that aspect of this new black pillar. And he's taken a massive leap. He's using the extremes. So this isn't really high IQ stuff. This is really just propaganda because everybody knows you can walk around and say anything, say hello to anybody you want, and you're not going to get arrested. This guy must have done something really stupid to get arrested or something.
So back in July, I decided to hire a dating coach.
Why'd you hire a dating coach?
Tell me that.
I won't even answer that.
Here's what happens when you type in my legal name on Google.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
Starbucks. We came back
Starbucks. Oh, well, you found me. So we're doing the 4.
Yeah, this is what the black pillars do. They play on the insecurities of the guys out there that are sitting at home just watching YouTube all day. This is a tall, good-looking dude. How tall is he? Like 6'3"? Good-looking dude. Approaches a 3 set.
Where? What's the plan?
Yeah.
You could just put your number here.
And you're gonna email me, is that right?
I'll text you. You send me your email, and then
You can see this one. She's looking up at him going, oh, I want him to take my number. He could probably bang all of them just by approaching. And this encapsulates what the black pill is. They just believe, just approach, doesn't matter. You're going to get laid because you're good looking.
from there, I'll hit you on the email.
Okay, perfect. That's actually my number. So
All right, I'm telling her my name. Hey, what's up?
come back. Come hang out with us.
My name's Blake, by the way, but I gotta go film this video, but I'm down.
He kind of looks like a taller, more jacked Paul Janko.
I'm gonna hang like later.
Oh.
Okay, amazing. We'll see you then.
You know, people don't understand just
And I wanna point something out here. This is really important. He's got his top button undone. He's got all these self-help books behind him. You go through some of these books, ego, oh my god. When you start looking at those books, I know that you're already lost. Good looking guy. He's got his setup. He's really marketing. He's doing marketing here. He's running a business. We need to take that into account. But Rehab Room attacking another black pillar that is young and good looking like this, totally justified because he's including Pickup and he's good looking. It's just so offensive. Even for a Pickup dude to be looking at that, I'm like, dude, come on. And on top of that, he's quoting Yad all the time. And when I started making videos about 4 years ago, people called it the stop. They didn't call it the Yad stop. I think I played an integral part in the Pickup community explaining that Yad invented that and giving him the credit that he deserves. And guys like this, they haven't been around long enough. And so Rehab Room, he's looking at this going, this is a new kid. What the fuck do you know? You're new. And so I totally understand part of why Rehab Room will be attacking this guy. It's because he's a kid and he's brand new and he's coming in with all these new philosophies and new ideas, and he's got the attraction switch, the attraction trigger. And it's like, you got to be around a little bit longer. You know, and the same thing happens with the Pickup community. You've got a good looking dude come in with his chest out like this. And it's like, do you really know game? You don't. So don't come out, and it takes a bit more experience.
how bad things have gone. Actually, win, not what it takes to, get a girl who's like 2 looks points below you, which is the trend these days. I did 100 approaches on a college campus. Most of the guys that I see in these relationships, it's so brutal, man. When you really start paying.
And this is actually pretty good that a black pillar, and that's what makes me wonder whether he actually is a black pillar, because he could just be using black pill for marketing. You're doing 100 approaches in the college campus. You got the cologne up there. You've got all of these self-help books. Hang on, the winner effect. Have you been watching my channel, dude? I'm the only guy in this industry that recommends the winner effect. The only guy. I'd have to go through his list of books to see whether he's stolen. Because that's the thing. The new guys come in and they basically just copy paste everyone else's information. All of their hard work, they just come and steal it and then use it as their own and repackage it. And so this is why, you know, when Rehab Room comes after him, he's kind of justified in doing so.
Attention.
Welcome to 2015, bro. But I will say this: at least this guy admits.
2015. See, that's a little jab. You're a kid. You don't belong here, and he's right.
And are dating down. You know, when people say, "Oh, brother, it ain't about looks," you know, check out this couple in real life. You know, the couples in real life meme. They almost always underrate the dude and overrate the hell out of the girl. Even in this community, like, people don't know how to rate. I will die on this hill. I am not going to give any names, but I was talking to a community figure, and even he does it, bro. I was like, you only say she mugs him because he's bald. Literally, the only reason is you don't compare them on a craniofacial level. Oh, the dude shaved his hair. That means he's dating.
And the context is this is first world. I think Rehab Room's in England, so that would be brutal. And I think Rehab Room is Indian background, so that's even more brutal. That's why he's gone after Deepak Dating, Deepak Wayne, many times, because he's of the same demographic and he just doesn't believe that it works.
Nope. Bro, I promise you one thing. If you could find the brothers of those girls, you know, the couples where people think the girl is dating down, right? If you could find the brothers of the girls in a relationship, you would realize that the 90% of the time, the brother is getting mocked into the shadow realm.
So what is Blackpill? Well, okay. That's kind of what this is. This is the exact, what is it? The orbital decompression and the protrusion of the upper eyelid exposure and 30% wider apart than ideal. What his eye, yeah. They really go in deep on how attractive you are and rate you as accurately as they possibly can. Most of us are aware that they probably go a little bit too far. Well, they do.
Into the shadow realm, bro, by the guy his sister is dating. Sure, like, you can get into a relationship as a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, somewhat, some way. But the context of the relationship, sometimes they are going to be dating down. If not, they are going to be super
Going out and trying to do anything about it.
He's still not getting it. Bro, the reason is literally the opposite of it. They do something about it. It is just, they don't have to do it in the bars and clubs cold approaching in 2025 anymore. They took their cringe maxing to private channels.
Okay.
Bro. But they still do volume shooting. If anything, they do it more than before, thanks to social media. I'm not even talking about dating apps, dude. These days, people use entire social media to shoot their shots, to cringe max. Even something like Discord. I'm not even joking. Like, I remember once I had changed my profile picture to...
Yeah, people are using Instagram, they're using dating apps, they're using every possible avenue. And ultimately, what else is left? Well, it's called approach. And it's just, I think part of the issue here is that the black pillars don't think it's worth the time and the effort. That's what they think.
Some chick. And people in some random server I was in were assuming I was that chick. And mind you, I never even claimed to be a woman. I never said anything in that server, but I was still getting messages, DMs from dudes in that server. I never even sent a single message, guys. But still, men would send me unsolicited messages, cringe maxing, trying to flip my brain. Literally, all it took was me changing my profile picture. All it took was that, bro.
Can I tell you something very quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just saw you and I thought you looked great.
And also, you notice Yad, a lot of these infields, I remember the early days of the London day game model. He'd run and do the Yad stop, jump in front of the girl. He's unaware of his surroundings. You can see everyone's looking at him going, what did he just do? Like, is he attacking her? But he'll always pick out the hottest blonde and try to number close because it's part of the marketing. But his strategies, my understanding, he wasn't really getting laid.
Be nice.
Okay.
I
Thanks.
just want to say hello.
Okay.
They're laughing at him.
Children drink from puddles. Mothers boil salty water just to bathe their babies.
You see Chads with 6s, you see Chad lights with 5s, you see tall high tier normies with 4s.
And watch what he said himself, disproven, guys. He said, you see Chad Lights go out with ugly girls. Bro, that is because she knows she has too many guys shooting their shot.
Yeah, and she looks like she's 30. And that dude looks like a supermodel.
That she can date a dude way better than herself. The very reason for it is the fact that women are bombarded with messages. Men cringe maxing, trying to woo her, trying to flip her brain.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't look that pretty.
With the switch on her brain. I mean, either he's being disingenuous here, or his brain doesn't register this concept. Oh, dude, it is because men don't improve. They don't shoot their shot. No, dude, they do. In fact, they do it a lot more than before. They just do it online. Times changed. Women are bombarded with options. And yes, you can get into relationships, I know, even if you are sub-6, through mass cold approaching. Just get rejected 10,000 times, you will find someone that will bestow you with the great privilege of being in her presence. But like, one, you will need to go below your looks match. I mean, you will have to. Don't listen to his, only approach women hotter than yourself. These guys always overrate women's looks. You breathing and you are not overweight, they are going to think you are hot. And two, even then, like, you are going
to... If you're breathing and you're not overweight, they're going to think you're hot.
Have a relationship in your hands where you got to be the jester maxer. You are going to be easily replaceable. You are going to be on a timer till she finds a better flipper, better jester maxer. But he's right, try hard enough, go through enough rejections, and it is bound to happen. The same.
There it is right there. There it is. That's from the #1 black pillar in the world. Let's hear this again.
You are going to be on a timer till she finds a better flipper, better jester maxer. But he's right, try hard enough, go through enough rejections, and it is bound to happen. The same goes.
Try hard enough, go through enough rejections, and it's bound to happen. It's just the outcome after that, whether, a lot of these guys think, is it worth the time and is it worth the effort? Look, if you've got nothing else going on and if you want to get laid, then what are your other options? And that's what it really comes down to. It's, it's like today I was talking to a guy who runs a large business and he makes millions of dollars. And he was talking about how it's just, you have to want it. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. And very few of the guys that make it and become, worth hundreds of millions of dollars and have these massive businesses, while they're working really hard, they've got a double chin, they're unhealthy, they're inside all the time, they're pasty, they look unwell because they're just working so hard to build the business. It's like, well, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? It's entirely up to you. And I think that's that decision is up to you.
For online as well, beg hard enough online, it is going to happen eventually if you want it that badly. What I am telling, man, is a post.
Beg hard enough online and it's bound to happen as well, he says. But you also see, like, Yad here, what is his background? That's the thing. Like, is he Greek or something? You got to understand, even when Yad was running around London, that was a decade ago, there weren't as many immigrants around. So he kind of looked different back then. He's not of British blood, British heritage. It's something else. And so you can see here he's picking out these bullshit hot blondes, and this is why he's getting, a high amount of rejection. But he's also doing it for the camera as well. And this is where the black pill thinking comes in. It's like, well, why don't you try to get someone like on your level a little bit lower and then lock them in as a regular and then continue to shoot your shot at the absolute top tier girls. And as the black pillar just said, you try enough, you shoot long enough, you're bound to get some.
So this PUA is looks max and then geomax. Save your dignity, brother. Your dignity and your mental health as well.
You know what's happening now? Guys are taking everything they can get. They're desperate. They're giving them attention.
And this guy's better looking than Yad. He's actually a pretty good looking dude. So, and you can see there's a lot of effort to go into his production value. There's lots of editing. You know, like just by looking at this, I can see, okay, he's put a lot of effort. He's made this studio, so he's set in one location. He's not that bad looking. He's puts a lot of time and effort into his, you know, the way he looks, etc. He's got very well edited videos. He's got some digital products, and he talks about Blackpill. He probably hits the gym as well. I can basically, you know, he would have to have a full-time job or a part-time job as well. Now, how much time does he have to dedicate to actually gaming? And so this is why Rehab Room has justification, and like a pickup dude like myself are justified. Older pickup dudes, it's like, what the fuck do you know? You're too busy working. You're too busy making your studio all pretty. You're too busy creating digital products and, you know, the switch attraction or whatever that he copied from someone else, probably, that created digital products so he can make some money. This guy's too busy marketing to actually do game. And so he could portray himself as an expert online for a very long time. And in 5 years' time, people will look back and they'll just assume that he knows what he's doing, but he's really just been marketing. What does his day-to-day look like? That's what I'm asking. What does his day-to-day look like? Like, my day-to-day is like, I'm looking at this. I get on this. I just grab this laptop, click a few buttons. I'm not editing shit. You see my videos. It's low quality. I'm waiting for, believe it or not, bullshit hot girl to reply to me, and I'm going to go out for a date later on. I'm going to try fit in the gym. I'm trying to actually do some of that stuff as well, but my day-to-day is actually gaming. What does this guy's day-to-day look like? And at the end of like 5 years, how much experience would he have? This is what the Black Pill guy is right about. Rehab Room.
And now you have girls who are like sub-5 treating better looking guys like shit. Yo, let me tell you guys a story. On Saturday, there's this one chick holding a pizza box, right? And I went up to her and I was like, yo, is that a pizza box? She goes, yeah. And she was just giving me attitude. And I'm like, all right, can I have a slice? You know, just a normal question. Can I have a slice? You could say no. You could politely decline. And then she goes, no, and fuck right off. Like, she was just being a complete bitch. And I look at her and I'm like, but you're literally a sub-5. Like, who do you?
Okay. All right. Good. He's out there getting some experience, but he doesn't understand what's happening behind this. Now, what happens here is there's a lot of men that see their value as lower than what they are. Okay. And a girl like that's a sub-6, or what did he say? Sub-5, sub-6. He approached her. He asked for a slice of the pizza. He probably thinks, because he looks himself in the mirror, look at him. He's actually a good looking guy. He probably thinks he's a 6 or something like that, or a 7 maybe. I don't know. But he probably thinks that she's on his level, and he's probably right. Okay? He's probably right. But the thing is, the girl that is a 5 or a 6, everybody knows this now. All the data's out. All the nerds, all the scientists have come out and they've explained that, and this is what Pickup has known from day one, is that a really good-looking dude, like a Chad, a 10, a 9, an 8, whatever, on a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, he's going to, if he's got nothing else on, he's going to bang a sub-6, sub-5, sub-4. He might even go down to 3, okay? This is like the elite tier men. They might swipe right on Tinder and bang a fatty on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Now that girl, when that girl, she comes along and she's eating pizza late at night, and last month she slept with the top tier dude, and then this guy comes along and she's frustrated. She's hating men. This is why a lot of these 6s are very angry. It's because she banged the guy on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He was quite disrespectful. She absolutely loved the time with him, no matter how disrespectful he was. And what happened was, now she's got nothing, right? She's left. She had her time with this elite, good-looking dude, and now she's angry. She hates men, and then this guy comes along, which arguably is on her level. And so she's angry at men, and she's angry. She's like, "Why are you approaching me? I want the guy that I banged a couple months ago or whatever." And that's where the attitude comes from, because they can never lock down the top tier guy, but they're good for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday one night stand. And so they get frustrated with life. They get angry at men. And this is part of the reason why a lot of guys are pushing for, more conservative sort of societies, to try and prevent all of the sixes and the sub sixes and the sub fives getting so bitter. But that's another topic. But that's why he got such a bad reaction. And he doesn't know that. Now, if you're doing pickup long enough, you realize that, okay, you can see the sub six and sub fives, and you can see their bad attitude. You can see it with experience. Aim for a 7, aim for a friendly 7 or 8. Maybe instead of hitting on a girl at 2 a.m. in the morning out the front of the pizza store that's kind of drunk and has a bad attitude and can't get the type of guy that she wants, then how about you start to think, why don't I look for a girl that clearly, she looks like she has a lower body count, and that will increase your chances. But the black pill guys never really reach that level. And this is why I think this is such an interesting video to react to, because you got the old school black pill dude coming up with the new school black pill dude that's doing approaches. And this is what Wheat Waffles did as well. And this is why we hate Wheat Waffles, because he came in as a kid with no experience, the same as this kid, and he's portraying himself as an expert. And then where does he end up? Wheat Waffles found himself approaching in the universities, literally doing the exact same thing this guy is doing as well. And then we find out later on he was just marketing the same as this guy. So if you want to be authentic with yourself, start out doing pickup. Just be realistic. But they choose black pill as a marketing avenue. That's my take on it. And that's why Rehab Room and people like myself have every reason to jump in here and have a little bit of a shot at him, because he just doesn't have the experience.
You think you are?
Because that you're telling you of had to interact with too many dudes like you and your victims trying to flip our brain, doing, volume flipping, mass flipping. You think you are the only one trying to run game on her. Guys, this is what you get.
Yeah, and it's also the insecurity of a lot of men. They think, oh, she's a sub 5, she's a sub 4, then I should be able to approach her. But they don't understand that yet. They don't fully understand that yet. They don't understand what that means yet. They're not there yet. And Rehab Ruben is 100% right. A lot of the guys that get into pickup and they're out clubbing, they're gonna pick a girl that they feel is like an easier target, something that's more on their level, because they're kind of scared and intimidated of the hotter girls.
When you have dudes trying to do mass cold approaches, it is because of all the dudes like your victims cringe maxing. That is what got that sub 5 girl treating you like that. Even with your genius opener, Is that a pizza? Wow, what an opener, man. Yeah, it would be bad. You are moving the game forward, brother. Going up to a girl eating pizza and asking her, is that a pizza indeed? No, it is a fucking rocket launcher. Like, what do you expect her to say? And by the way, guys, I personally guarantee you this. He's only calling her a sub 5 because his cold approach didn't work. If she gave him her number, if she let him be in her rotation of Chester Maxers to keep...
Oh, come on. Now that's cope. Like, she was probably a sub 5. Why wouldn't he say she was a sub 5? It doesn't make any sense. See, that's another thing. There's a lot of ego in black pill, whereas, and it's not based in a lot of, this part of it is not based in reality. That's my take on it. Okay, she's really, most women, you over exaggerate how attractive they are. Okay, but in this case, he's underestimating how attractive she is. That's not right.
Or entertained, he wasn't going to call her a sub 5. 1000%, bro. By the way, don't get me wrong. I do believe that she was indeed a sub 5, but he wasn't gonna rate her that if she was perceptive to his approach.
Really? Okay.
Guys, I personally guarantee you this myself. This is literally a personal guarantee.
A million have already. Tonight it's probably happened 6 or 7 times. I already been hit on. My boyfriend got mad at me, so I've been approached by like 5.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Owen Cook recommended as well. How long ago though? That's what I'd like to know.
We just got here, so everyone's been like, "What's your number? What's your number?" So I want to say at least 15 tonight.
15?
Yeah.
15 dudes.
All right, so if you get a number in the nightclub, then it is a flaky number. That's what they do. You're either pulling that night or don't get the number. Comprehende? It's as simple as that, and this is why. But the black pill guys they'll interpret it differently because they don't see approaching a girl during the daytime and approaching a girl in the club as the same thing. Or they do, they see it as the same thing. They don't differentiate. Someone like myself that has an unbelievable amount of experience under my belt, they're different sports. One's soccer, one's rugby, as the best metaphor I can come up with.
Came up to you.
Yeah.
You rejected all of them?
I said I have a boyfriend, but I don't.
You have to be persistent in the face of rejection. You have to be resilient to it. And women are out there fucking, hitting the vape, smiling, going to the clubs, soaking up infinite attention. They're too powerful.
Well, this is true, but from the black pill guy's perspective, just grow a rejection fetish theory. You have to you do your approaches, you get used to the rejection, and then you tweak it, you upgrade it. You don't just spam and this is where you got to remove the canned lines. You got to evolve. You've got to have different strategies. If one strategy is not working for you, if you're yad stopping, you're using the London day game model. You're opening. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I saw you from over there. I had to come over here and meet you. You look like an astronaut. Stand there like this. Rock. Like if you're doing the same canned line, same canned structure, and you're approaching the same demographic, hot blondes, and you're expecting a different result, insanity, right? You need to evolve. You need to change. You need to change what you're doing, the demographics you're approaching as well. You have to change things up, and this is where the black pillars just don't have the experience, and this kid doesn't either. But
Powerful. They need to be nerfed. I'm sorry, but every chick needs to be nerfed.
Every chick needs to be nerfed, he says. You are nerfing them by telling men to volume approach. Surely that is going to do the nerfing, brother. Soaking up the attention will decrease surely, right? If even more guys start cold approaching them, that'll knock them down a peg. Wow, man, you got it all figured out. Every chick needs...
And this is why I appreciate the black pill. It's because it convinces a lot of men not to approach. There's less competition out there, which increases, supply and demand. It increases our chances.
It's to be nerfed, sure. Mass cold approaching will do that to those women.
You have to be persistent in the face of rejection. You have to be resilient to it.
The cognitive dissonance here is insane. He's not even wrong. He's right. You see that all the time when you are in social situations. The confidence, the credit.
We agree on a lot of things. He says here, look, he's right. He's right. You have to be resilient to it. It's just that the black pill guys just don't think it's worth the time and the effort. And that's an individual decision.
Potential ratio they have is off the charts, but he's contributing to it. The truth is just too painful for him to admit. The truth that his mentality, the mentality he's pushing, is literally the chaos.
I'd say with ClickUp, doing my daily tasks is up to 10 times faster.
The work of a law firm.
Of all this.
They're on an imaginary
These black pillars get a lot of ads, by the way. Let's not pretend they're getting cancelled.
pedestal. They are literally on the pedestal now, looking down at every guy.
And who is putting them on that pedestal? Why are they on that pedestal?
No respect for them. And you can feel it. You can feel it when you talk to them. The dynamic, the way they look at you, they know in their heads that they are better than you.
But where's he approaching them? Is this in the nightclub? If it's just in the nightclub, then, well, they've got their guards up and they've just been approached by 20 drunk dudes already by 1 a.m.
Really believe that they are better than you.
Of course they believe that. And again, of course, you can feel the dynamic. Doing mass cold approaches, even as a guy who is above average, once you cold approach a girl, that is pretty much submission. At that point, she knows she holds all the cards. She's not stupid, bro. She knows what you are doing.
Oh, there's the meme. I might have to take that meme and post it. But you have to change the strategy. This is my main criticism of Yad. He was approaching the wrong demographics. He was very aggressive with the Yad stop. And he was using the canned lines. They even had ping text and canned line, text messages. And they never got logistics. So they never evolved. And so this is what happens. You have the old guard sort of die off if they don't innovate. Otherwise, Yad would still be out there. I don't know. I don't think Yad is still gaming. Actually, even a decade ago, he was on the way out, actually.
That is why they think they are better than you. That is why they are looking down on you. They feel on pedestal because you are literally putting them on pedestal by cold approaching them. And keep in mind, that is you. You have somewhat a pretty boy prototype going on. Imagine others trying hard with game to woo them, trying to be witty, trying to flip their brains. That is why they look down on you. And you would too. In their shoes, you would too. You still don't understand how much they are getting bombarded with attention from what they consider to be mediocre men. You said it yourself, man. Even you, they look down on, and you are above average. Imagine how they are looking at Oofy Doofies. Like, I love how he's contributing to literally every single thing he's complaining about. You gotta understand how much cringe maxing that.
And he is above average looks. How old is this kid? 21? 21? 21 running a business? It's like, dude, if you left high school and you did your apprenticeship full time as a plumber, you wouldn't even have your license yet. Yet you're out online. This is the problem with the online space, and I guess this is why we need reaction videos, isn't it?
Flipping attempts these girls go through in their daily life. Like, start from the class, from their classmates, right? She's gonna say hi one time, and the dude is gonna try to flip her brain at school. She gets home from school, wants to play some video games. The moment she says something in voice chat, the dudes are gonna try to flip.
Yeah, what are these girls doing? It's really sad that they get all these clicks, gamer chicks. It's exploitation.
Everybody's trying a little bit harder, Even your buddy is trying to talk to her. She goes on Discord. Again, dudes trying to flip her brain, cringe maxing, trying to spit game. She goes out this time, gets cool.
React to other pickup dudes. No thanks. No thanks. I've now got more experience, I think, than all of them combined, actually. So I'm now the authority. I didn't realize that I was already the authority when I first started. So anyway.
Old approached by your victims, trying to flip our brain with 200 IQ lines.
That's, is that Coach Kyle? That's Coach Kyle, isn't it? Good looking dude, isn't he? Yeah, and this is a part of pickup these days. The guys that rise to the top now are technically black pill dudes that look smacks like this. They're jacked. They got the tats. They got the sleeve. They're looking as good as they can, and they're coaching pickup to guys that are all average. So how can a really good looking dude that does pickup coach? He doesn't know what it's like to overcome that many maybe girls, because game is maybe girls, not yes girls.
As asking her if what she's eating is actually a pizza indeed. Oh, I can feel they look down on me when I cold approach them. Of course, you need to.
That's Coach Kyle again, isn't it?
Understand how much flipping Gen Z chicks go through, bro. They are exposed to cringe maxing levels beyond your comprehension. This is why I say men are the cringe maxing gender. Natural born cringe maxers.
Excuse me, guys. I have to confess something. I fell in love with your friend right here. Hey, good luck. Better luck next time. Good luck. You're lying? Do you have a boyfriend? No. I can see why. Hey, fuck off.
Do you agree that these days traveling is much more costlier than 10 years back? Today,
I have a question. I think you're beautiful. What's your name?
Yeah, but like they're laying on the beach in bikinis. It's like they've got all the power in that scenario. So it would be annoying, and obviously you're going to get this reaction from this one, because this one's just like, she doesn't get approached anywhere. So and she's just annoyed. She wants her friends around because no one else wants to hang out with her, and that's why they're the first people to, you know, block you.
Okay. Have a good one. Excuse me. I think the grand
So look, it's that's night game out the front of a club. What do you expect? Does indirect opening actually work in day game? A bunch of people? Well, if it's a bunch of people, it should be a one-on-one set. You know, what are you talking about? Opening a big set? Are you talking about night game as well? Like, are you approaching multiple girls that are all in a big group in day game? That's just not recommended. One-on-one, so you can have a one-on-one conversation, is recommended. I actually had a guy that's part of the members get confused when I was talking about being direct in night game. Night game and day game are two different sports. Don't confuse them. They're totally different. Don't confuse them.
There's something fundamentally broken with the dating market. I don't know what social media did.
It's not broken. It's always been like that. It's just, I think it's more that the girls that he's putting himself in front of have higher body counts. That's basically his issue. So they're less likely to build emotional connection. They're more likely to have slept with like the hottest guy in the town or the city or the university, and it's less likely that they're going to be able to pair bond with you. You know, that bit of knowledge, you need an older guy like myself to step in and explain something simple like that, because he's not able to differentiate. So he has no business talking about it. It's like, fake it till you make it, bro. Marketing online.
To the brains of Gen Z women.
Actually, I want to hear what Rehab Room has to say about that.
Like to the brains of younger women. But these chicks are finished, guys. These chicks are finished, yo. Even when they're interested. Like, I did 100 approaches, right? Yeah, sure. You know, if you do approaches in 2025, more women are going to be standoffish compared to like 10 years ago. I don't know what they're putting in women's foods, guys. They're cooking them hormonally, but like,
that's just false.
You know, there's more women who are standoffish, but even the high interest ones, personality wise, they're all boring as shit, yo. Like, most of these chicks are boring as fuck, and they have like, their looks are carrying them so hard.
If you're having boring interactions, you're the problem, not the girl. Okay, let's just be realistic. You're the problem.
And if it wasn't for their looks, there would be nothing. They're like empty vessels. You try to talk to them, it's like their social skills. Like, Gen Z girls have the worst social skills I think I've ever seen.
Wanna know why they are boring as shit? Just vessels? Because of guys like you, bro. Literally, like, men in masses just mixing, trying to find the switch in her brain. You think you are the only one trying to do that to those girls? Girls with the personality of a kitchen sponge. By the way, don't get it twisted. I know what he's trying to mean. Especially common among Gen Z. Like, holy shit, bro. And I don't even mean intellectual, boring conversations. I don't expect them to be able to have a conversation, have a discussion with me on the Vietnamese Civil War, right? The history of South Vietnam. In fact, I don't even expect her to know what South Vietnam is. You say South Vietnam to her, she's going to think it is the bar down the street. She's going to think it is some cocktail, which is fine, but like, they don't have any interesting hobbies. They are not funny. Nothing. A TV show they can talk about, and social media. That's it. But when you look at their confidence to credentials ratio they have, it is off the charts. Maybe she is.
And this Indian dude, look at him. Look, you can see the side of his face. Some Indian dudes, they're super Chad. But yeah, to travel to what looks like a grass hut to try and propose to some girl out in the middle of the countryside, in the forest.
Nothing to back that confidence up. But that ratio, confidence to credentials ratio, it is still crazy. And the sad thing is, often they ain't even got the looks. He says the looks, but more often than not, they don't even have that. I don't know the girls.
She's going to be really fat at 25.
referring to, but the ones I'm talking about, they were no supermodels. And I'm pretty sure the same goes for the girls he was referring to as well. He approached, maybe a 5 out of 10 white girl who's not overweight. And that is hot to him. Men, especially high libido men, overrate women. You could be a 4 out of 10. But when you have all these dudes trying to shoot their shot, Clown Max, Jester Max, trying to flip your brain, you are going to be like, holy shit, I am him. I am her. I must be that girl. Very normal, guys. Very normal. Because that is what she's experiencing. Her reality is the reality, according to her. He says they don't have any hobbies. They are super boring. And that is because they grew up with men laughing at every little thing they say. The same would happen to you. If you go find those girls he was referring to as boring as shit.
And that's when guys started pulling out the neg, but that's like 15 years ago. We've moved past the neg to try and bring them in.
You would notice that those women, they think they're actually funny and cool to be around. And the proof they have got for this line of thinking, is the feedback they get from PUAs and their victims, from guys trying to run some sort of brain switching technique on them.
Like, deadass, bro. And none of these girls are dateable, yo. None of these girls even want.
Yeah, I think he overestimates how many guys are actually approaching. If I see guys approaching, if I see an approach, I'll be able to spot it. And when I'm traveling, I've seen guys approach, and then I've approached them to try and tap into the local pickup scene. There's not many guys actually approaching. Let's be realistic. The only time they're approaching is once they've had a few drinks and they're in the bars. Let's be realistic here, guys.
Relationships half the time. And I just feel like a lot of these chicks, because of social media, because of TikTok, because of the influx of attention that they get, dopamine junkies, they're finished. Everything about them just pisses.
Look, this is a kid that started out Blackpill. He starts trying to figure out a way to solve it himself by Googling and ChatGPT in it. And now he's gone out, he's done 100 approaches, and now he's really evolving into red pill rage. Oh, these bitches, they don't know what they're talking about. It's like, okay, well, look, you're a kid. Don't come out and pretend that you're an expert. Don't come out and tell us that you know what you're talking about. You can see the evolution. It's like when Wheat Waffles came out on the scene. He was finding himself while getting a lot of clicks, and he didn't really know what he was talking about. And that's the problem with the internet.
Me off, yo.
And despite that, you are still telling your victims to go through countless rejections to get into a relationship with one of those girls. Oh, bro, you gotta stay strong in the face of rejection. What does that make you? Their dopamine receptors are fried because of all the guys shooting their shot. She knows for a fact that she can replace you with.
What is this? Look, I'm not doing coaching here. I'm not going to go through and ask lots of complicated, That's what coaching's for, dude. Mystery method is, look, Mystery, what was he? He's really tall, good-looking guy. Oh, Dr. K is the video game guy, isn't it? Dr. K is the video game guy. There's a lot of failed students. 99%, I would say 99 point something % of most guys that get into pickup quit. Let's be realistic with the attrition rate of guys that get into it. And this is something that I thought most people knew. Do you think the time and effort is worth it? Do you come in with the right mindset? Are you aware that you're going to get your ass kicked and you need to make it kind of a lifestyle? You know what I mean? Was he really 6'5" though? So I don't know, but he was tall, good looking. He painted his nails. He stood out. It's like, look, I've been in the club. I've opened, and I've got a tall, good looking wing there. He just needs to stand there, be quiet, and go. You can if you're a short dude in the nightclub, and there's a good looking dude next to you, he's going to get more attention. But this is part of it. It is a real reality hit to learn game. You get your fucking ass handed to you. And it's like, okay, are you willing to do it or not? If you're not willing to do it, then swipe right on the apps. Anyway, I got to get back to this.
Even if you did flip our brain, after a certain amount of clown maxing, jester maxing, she knows she can replace you in a snap of a finger.
The only thing.
By the way, jester maxing for a guy that is like, let's just use black pill terminology because we're reacting to black pill content. Jester maxing is so fucking common with young, good-looking pickup dudes. And then there's the guys that don't have the charisma, natural born charisma, nothing that can be taught, that just use canned lines like Yad, but aren't way better looking than Yad. And they become the best PUAs in the world, and they win the championship.
Thing you can do is get colder or move somewhere easy. That's literally it. Get colder, get better game, spam more volume, stop being passive.
What he doesn't realize is he's setting up his victims for a losing game. If you do that game volume approach, the only thing you are going to accomplish.
And Rehab Room's right. He's setting himself up because he doesn't have the experience. You have to go through it yourself, buddy, to give that advice. You have to come out the other end victorious in your like 40s before you can start giving that advice. Don't do it as a 20-year-old dude when literally a minute ago you're telling us how much women are shit, fuck women. Like, he's going to have his own fresh and fit podcast soon.
He's giving those girls, who he calls more boring than a kitchen sponge, even more dopamine, even more ego, without getting anything much in return. Maybe some of them are going to give you their numbers to not risk anything. Easier to ghost you later. The girl maybe is going to be nice to you, not to risk your spirit coming out in front of her.
You know, some of these old black pillars do know their shit. It's just whether they're willing to put in the time and effort. They don't have as much experience on the pickup side, but a lot of what they talk about is reality. Our goal is, okay, if you're going to put in the time and effort, there are ways to overcome it. But you can't have a kid teaching you to jester max, you know, and lay down on the footpath and what is it? Social, what is it? It's social freedom retarded shit. Back in the day, there was... what was that guy's name that was just, he came across, he was jester maxing like nothing else. A whole bunch of them were. I would say Simple Pickup was jester maxing. I would say, you know, Yad's more canned lines, autistic sort of game, London day game model. And then there's, I've even forgotten his name. He hasn't been around for a while. He pushed direct game. I think he was a Canadian guy out of London. Anyway, it'll come to me. That's how important he was.
The war in Sudan has wiped away 4-year-old Wallah's smile. As intense bombardments swept through.
I mean, ghosting you later is a lot easier.
You can tell I've been going down the Gaza trail.
Let's assume that you're a good-looking guy. You're one of these dudes who just looks maxes. That's the common advice. Oh, just looks max and let them come to you. You're either going to end up with a mid who you're unattracted to, or you're going to end up with no girls at all.
You're gonna end up a wallflower in the nightclub, drinking, making eyes at girls, and leaving alone. I see good-looking dudes, like really good-looking dudes, just standing there eyeballing girls from across the club, having a drink, and then going home alone. And I've in the club I've seen dudes that were just way below them approaching that same girl, and that same girl's like, oh well I can't have the super good looking guy because he's too much of a pussy to do something about it, and I guess I'll go home with this guy.
It's because a lot of looks maxing done by people is soft looks maxing and doesn't move the needle, and sometimes not even hard maxing.
Slaven. Chris. I'm not gonna say it, but you know, you read my mind.
He's gonna do that. What he said is true. Even with looks max in today's Western market, if you are, let's say,
what he's saying is like he would use Yad, like, because he copied Yad's strategies, but it would be like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm not a murderer. I'm not an axe murderer, and he would just play off it like to another level. My understanding, he wasn't getting laid.
Out of 10, and you get to 6 or 7 out of 10 by looks maxing and expect women to approach you, you are going to end up alone. Or with a girl you are not even attracted to. This is true in today's dating market. You go do some basic looks max and expect a woman to approach you, you are going to end up alone. But this will be the case for other dudes.
This is why I think Rehab Room. I think this dude's like 40. I think he's been doing this black pill content for probably a decade. You learn something in a decade, just even if you're just behind a computer screen.
As well, a lot of those game guys just go for uglier chicks, way uglier than themselves. That is why they think it works.
Which is right, especially when you're starting out. That is unfortunately the reality. Lock in an uglier girl on a rotation and keep firing up. You got a better plan?
At times. But what they are doing is basically the same, just contributing to the hypergamy. Mass cold approach will only give you PTSD, bro, and then get you maybe in a relationship where you are replaceable.
What is the alternative? What are you going to do if you don't cold approach? There is no other way. If you are not spamming volume, if you are not persistent in the face of rejection, oh, dude, I'm trauma farming. Give me a fucking break, bro. Give me a break. If you don't get stronger with each rejection, you're finished.
My usual recommendation is the combination of looks maxing and geomaxing, because the chances are looks maxing ain't gonna be enough. Ain't gonna be enough to.
Now, he was talking about this for a long time. Now, a lot of guys were talking about this in the early days where no, he's got to be earlier, mid 30s. You reckon he's that young? Nah, he's got to be older than that. He's been around a long time and he sounds older anyway. But the whole geo-maxing idea and the passport bro thing, that's gone from, okay, we're making all this money in the West. Western society is still awesome. It's safe. There's low crime rate. To, oh shit, Britain is in collapse. You know, France. Oh my God, I went to Paris. Don't go there. Have you guys been watching Kurt Kaz? Kurt Kaz is my favorite vlogger. You got to watch Kurt Kaz. Kurt Kaz is the fucking man. And in the early days, he would go to dangerous parts of the world in South America, etc. But now the West is collapsing. He's now going to some of the most dangerous parts in the world, in Britain, in Germany, in France. And so it's not necessarily geo-maxing for the purpose of getting pussy as just escaping the collapsing West, because the West is in massive decline and the United States
make you that guy.
The United States is not helping.
In the West, where the standards are just insane. That is why you combine bots. I helped plenty of people ascend this way. And the good thing is, you can actually looks max for a lot cheaper when you are geomaxing and pay a tenth of what you would have paid in America. So looks max, but also geomax. But if you...
What? So looks maxing is cheaper than geomaxing, but you still have to live in the West. Like if you're living in Britain, like, okay, the worst country in Europe has to be France right now. France, Germany, maybe the third, the bronze medal has to be Britain. Britain isn't as bad as France and Germany at the moment. But then see, this is where his high IQ argument becomes, okay, well, what aren't we just in a looks maxing arms race then? Have you seen like California beaches where like guys are so jacked and on steroids and they're 25 years old and 6'5"? It's like, okay, like you're just getting in that type of an arms race where everybody else is playing the same game while society's collapsing around them because no one's actually working.
Say I can become that guy by looks maxing alone in the West, sure, do that. But it is not going to be feasible for the vast majority of men. Let's be real here. Now, that being said.
What is this? What did he say? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, go across. Yeah, go somewhere where your currency can get you further and then get plastic surgery or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what these guys do, but I'm sure there's something you can do. I think hitting the gym and maybe getting on TRT would be as much as you need, I'm assuming.
if you want me to be honest with you, 100% truthfully here, if you rule out geomaxing, because there are guys like that who tell me, yeah, I just don't want to go to those countries. I don't want to leave the US. If you are like that, and if you're also capped at normative looks-wise, which many men are, because like I said before, surgeries are done on operating tables, not on Photoshop canvas. Then if that is the case, honestly, bro, like just leaving these communities altogether.
Imagine being the answer to someone's dua tonight. The reason a mother smiles, a father breathes a
just focusing on your career is probably the right course of action. That way, you can be deluded. You can be shielded from the truth. You will think that the woman showing interest in you at that point in your life when you are 30 is not using you, is dating you for the person you are. Delusion max, basically, the life script for the most men. The realist.
Yeah, she likes the fact that you wasted the first 10 years of your working life like doing 7 days a week and you've got a career. It depends. And I would say also you need to have fit in during that 10 years, a few relationships with girls so that you can experience being scammed by a girl or being cheated on. Unfortunately, you kind of need to see that to then look for it in the next one. You kind of need to get burnt a few times. And you can't just jump into this. This is part of the issue. But he makes a huge leap there where... Actually, no, I'm just going to agree with him because most guys just don't have the experience anyway. They don't know if they're being used.
The answer for the majority of mediocre men who also don't want to geomax, who also don't want to looks max is this, the truth. The answer ain't mass cold approaching, bro. You are not going to beat the house. You are not. And I get what he's trying to say with these girls are finished, yo. Because I remember some of my conversations, me listening to what those girls had to say. I'm like, nothing, dude. Despite that, she had an insane confidence. And why? Because all the dudes competing with each other for her attention. She was like, the biggest present is my presence. They have that mindset, bro. The biggest present is my presence. Your biggest present is presence of hammer and videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, this mass cold approach, volume approach, cringe max stuff only contributes to the problem. All you are doing is giving those girls, the girls you call finished, even more premium gas, contribute to their God complex even more.
I want to prove that.
Premium gas, as in just boosting their egos all of the time. And, this is, it just goes back to the same argument because, okay, well, what's the point of geo-maxing or just looks maxing then? It's, they're all kind of the same. You're making effort and you are competing with other men. This is life. It's kill or be killed. This is the reality of it. Just because it's not in a Hollywood romance thriller, the fact that, the brutality of the world, that's the reality of it. Deal with it, and it's just what you want to focus on. That's entirely up to you guys, what you want to focus on, really.
That I can get girls more attractive than myself. Oh no, you should just go for your looks match, man. Genetically, fuck you, dude. I'll do whatever I want to do. Like I'll do whatever I want. I want what I want. Oh, but it's unfair. I don't care. Don't care. Sorry. And you guys as well. The people, those of you who aren't getting girls, I know deep down you want the same thing. You may not admit it, but that's exactly what you want. And this is for the greater good. Men raising their standards collectively is for the greater good. Because
is it? Interesting theory. So what is this? What is this? Why is this? Okay. Yeah, if you're jaded and you've done a lot of approaches and you're basically getting red pill rage, then you're going to give off a bad aura. You're going to come across negative. Go to any pickup group. I've seen it. Go into any pickup group, meet up with, there's a bunch of dudes that will come out and they'll argue about theory. No, you can't approach that way. You got to do it this way. They don't understand. They're already just so negative because they've just had their asses handed to them by an unbelievable amount of women. And they come out and they're negative with their wings. They're negative with the women they approach. They're negative with everything. And this is what you got to avoid when you're getting into this. And that's the reality of it. This is why so many guys quit cold approach. and then some of them will go down the red pill avenue, or some of them will go down the black pill avenue. And red pill and black pill is it's very depressing at the end of it. You got to just, at the end of that, it's basically like looking at going down Telegram and Twitter and trying to look at like what's happening in a warfare, and you're seeing all these awful, horrific images. It just messes with your brain. And so the thing is, you need to figure out how to stay positive, and this is why I think pickup is ultimately, in my opinion, the way to go.
When we settle for these unattractive women, their egos get overblown. You make it harder for everyone else, and the dating market just gets worse. But when we all stand up and say, nah, I want something better for myself, I want to raise my standards. I don't want to just date a looks match who treats me like shit. I don't, nothing wrong with dating a looks match, but I don't want to date a girl that I'm not even that attracted to. When we all raise our standards, women have to adapt. Now we reverse the role.
Delusion. It's like, is this marketing, or does he believe this? Delusion. It's delusion. What does Rehab Room have to say about this? I hope he tears him apart for this.
In theory, he is right. If everyone collectively stopped approaching women below their looks level, this wouldn't be an issue. But the problem is the practice. And
well, that's where geomaxing to a conservative country would come into it, wouldn't it? Because you're not going to change society, because men will always compete. And if you just give up and leave the game continues without you.
Theory are two different things. Men are going to have higher libido. What he says is just not realistic, not feasible. Even if he follows his own advice, which he most likely doesn't, because men overrate. Everybody overrates women. Women's looks. We see how men rate women all the time. 2 conditions, guys. Only 2 conditions needed. Breathe, don't be fat. And they are going to say she's dating down. So even if you don't contribute to it, which you do, the rest of men will. The girl you approach will still have options much better than herself. Men who are willing to gesture max and flip her brain just like you do. That is the problem. Maybe in theory it works. If all men suddenly stopped approaching sub-5 women, yeah, they would have to get off their high horse.
Is the UK still a good place to invest in 2021? I mean,
No.
there's COVID, there's Brexit.
No.
But it just won't
No,
happen.
it's not.
I mean, hey, maybe I was going.
What's with all these fucking ads? These black pillars get so many ads. So where's this? What is this? Does this camera work? Where are we? Let's go down. You see that? I don't know. You can't really see it. She's like, another 3 hours at this event she's at. That buys me time. But this is how flaky women are. This is what you got to deal with. So I'm gonna
One of the wrong places.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm actually starting to hit the gym again, and eat some healthy food. And but it takes a lot of time to do game too. That's another thing. That's why so many guys in the pickup community are basically unemployed. It's like, what's more important, your career, making a lot of money, spending time with family and friends and doing things like that, or do you want to get laid? It depends on what type of, are you a like really horny guy like myself that would legit like drop everything to do it? Well, then do that. If you're not, choose your route. It's entirely up to you.
Maybe I'm not going to find Mary fucking Curie in a college campus, but I'm just saying most of these chicks are empty, okay? Most of these chicks are boring, and you will get tired of them very quickly, even if
This guy is so bitter already, and he just started, and he's like 12 years old. This is insane.
they do like you. Unless you're just low IQ and you enjoy their company, fair enough, but most of these chicks are finished, They're finished.
You're in a university campus, dude. If she's getting a university degree, she's doing something useful. She's not doing social sciences. She's doing something useful. She, on average, has the highest IQ of society. Date up. Go for someone that's doing accounting or engineering or science. What is he approaching? What is he approaching? Like bimbos in university? They're doing social. It doesn't make any sense. He's just bitter. He's making up excuses here.
done. Their hormones are cooked. Their diet is cooked. Their personalities are cooked. Nothing about them is appealing other than their looks. Like if they weren't hot, no one would have an interest in them.
This is true. If men weren't natural-born cringe maxers, if they had the same libido as women, this world would be a completely different place. I also think he underrates his own face. He doesn't have a Giga Chat face.
And yes, yeah, if men had the same what is it, sex drive as women, then that would definitely even up the scales. It would even up things massively. And in some countries where men do have lower libidos, they just default become more male-dominated societies. Like I would say, like China. Like China, on average, has a lower. The men, on average, have lower libidos, the same as in, say, Japan. And because the men have lower libidos, there's less men chasing women, so therefore society evolves. But we cannot rely on that in Western society because it's not going to happen, because you've got so many horny immigrants going into France and Germany and Britain and Australia and Canada. They arrive, they've got nothing, they're working part-time jobs, they're just surviving, and they're horny as hell. And so you can't rely on that. It's just not going to happen. You know, you can't change society. You can't change the rules. You need to just figure out how you can win within the system.
Oh, that is the thing. He looks younger than his age. He looks younger and he sticks to college campuses. Younger women are not into overly masculine faces. You also got to think about what happens when you don't have that face. If that sub-wife woman treats you like that, how is she going to treat someone worse looking than you? Think of it that way, bro. You can only take so many rejections as a man before you.
Yeah, he's actually. What would you guys think? Someone in the chat tell me. At least, like I personally, because he looks like he's probably 25 or younger, so he's at the right age where all of the young horny girls will still bang him. I don't know how tall he is. And he looks easy as 7 to me. Easy as 7. Imagine if he just did a little bit of weights. You know, imagine if he did some sports or something. He had some shoulders, you know, a bit of a V going on. Imagine, like, he'd definitely be like an 8. That's just my take on it.
Get labeled on campus before you get kicked out of bars. I mean, this is the old PUA stuff. Mass cold approach, volume approach, flip the switch in our brain. It is a numbers game, gentlemen. Just keep approaching, blah, blah. Of course, you can.
Yeah, I think he simplified the message there, but I think Rehab Room broke it down quite nicely, to be honest. He did. He broke it down. It's really just a young dude who's at least a 7. Come on. If he does something else, he's even higher. Clearly, he's read some books, so he's in the 1% of all Americans. He's got the American passport. He's in America. He's reading books. My understanding is there's not too many Americans that read these days. He's on university campus, so he must have a university degree. So, you know, looks like a 5. 5? Yes. Show me your photo. You must be good looking. This Slaven must be good looking. And maybe an MSV might, you know, and I go 7. So MSV, are you less attractive than me? And Slaven, are you more attractive than me? Because it's perception. This is perception. Yeah, that's it. I got to get going. I wanted to make a reaction. This is awesome. He's in the top 20 percentile. Yeah. If he is not short, too, like let's just say he's 5'9", 5'10", looks like that. He's in the right age range to, you know, talk to girls that are like 18 to 21 range on university campuses. You know, he's reading books, he's got a university degree, he's got an American passport. It's like, and you're complaining? Fuck you. Fuck you. You haven't seen the world yet, buddy. Things are going to get a lot harder. Imagine if you grew up in some shithole in some third world country, you'd be totally wrecked. And he's got some, he might have a marketing degree, but look at what he looks at how he's marketing this. But anyway, that's me for today. I'm done.